In the previous clip, I showed how I was working between Descript and Audiate. And so I am back at Descript with the second version of this revised Night Before Christmas tale with a more modern technology faced tinge. So I already queued up the kind of the initial prompts, uploaded the file, put my script in as it was written out by Perplexity originally. So this is the next step. And I wish there was a way to get this better framed on the screen, but clearly we're just not going to get there from here. Bit of a limitation. Love Descript. If you're watching this, I'd love to see this window be a bit more flexible between the prompt, the actual video output, and the script. Having a nice slider over here would be super helpful to expand or contract that. Anyhow, so I've got this set up, and Underlord is actually asking me what the next steps I want to take are. So I think I want to do some AI generated graphics. Let's do some AI generated B-roll to include next to certain verses. So I'm not going to bore y'all with the generation process on this particular prompt. I'll pause it and I'll pick back up once we've got something to look at as far as this B-roll generation is concerned. All right, so I'm going to roll this. I've already previewed it a little bit. Disappointing output. As I said while the video was rolling, a bit of a disappointed output. So I'm probably going to have to roll back to the start and figure out a different way of doing this because I'm not getting the desired outcome that I want. I'm doing this, of course, to show you that oftentimes AI tools, if you've ever used them, you already know this, don't give you the outcome that you want the first time. So this is definitely me experimenting and adapting and learning from the things that are not working. So more to follow. I'll resume this once I've had a chance to reset. All right, we're going back to just a straight video edit. And I do want to point out, to do scripts credit in many of the generative artificial intelligence products and platforms out there, Underlord is a beta product, or I should say beta functionality in the Descript product. So I can't in good conscience criticize some of the outcomes that I've achieved thus far, because as a guy who works in product development, I know beta doesn't work the first time out, and that's okay. So I'm going to take and click this, which is going to start the video editing process. We'll see where we get. I'm going to pause for right now, and we'll pick it up once it's had a chance to go through that first pass. So before I do that first pass, I wanted to point out that I've changed the layout pack as well as chosen generative art for this first pass. We'll see how Underlord does this first time around. All right, so what you're seeing on the screen right now is Underlord is doing the processing of the video that I uploaded. Just to give you an idea, what it's actually doing is it's going through step by step that plan that it outlined. And so it's applying different things, and you can see certain things populating in the script. So, and this is interesting. So it's like doing a cyberpunk thing for the title, and it's already deleted a couple of words. So I'm going to be curious as to how this works out. Again, this is generative AI. And so one of the things that I strongly advise in using generative AI tools is always keeping a human in the loop. Okay, now you're seeing a little bit more of this processing. So it's bringing in a stinger. Oh, there we go. Cyberpunk Santa Christmas Eve. That's kind of cool, although it didn't actually apply the format that I wanted. So that's going to be an adjustment to make it more Christmassy in the theming. This human in the loop concept, it works, not just when these models are being trained. It also works when you're using models with creative tools. There are certain things that, by the time this gets completed, I'm still going to have a bit of a post production investment involved in all of it to get it just the way that I would prefer. It's where the tools are at. They're not bulletproof. They're definitely not, 100% error proof. They're error prone at this stage. The main thing though is that it helps me unlock creative capability fairly quickly that would normally take me in just months and in years past, hours and potentially days to do on my own. So these tools have greatly increased my productivity. And since this is a pretty simple, straightforward project to process, it's a good opportunity for me to pull back the curtain a little bit and show you what the possibilities and capabilities are in the tools today at the end of 2025. So you can see that it's continuing to do the processing. Underlord's really a good generative AI tool. I think it's a combination of probably a number of different models or agents running in the background that are executing the different steps in the plan. I'd have to talk to Descript about that and kind of get behind the scenes and see what their secret sauce is. Always interested in that. So Descript, if you want to get me on a product call and just kind of give me a high level architectural overview of what kind of generative models you are using. I know large language, certainly image generation models as well. The tool chaining involved, there's certain that there is an amount of lang chain going on in the background for all of my software development nerds out there. This is great stuff. This is the future and where it's headed. And, Underlord seems to be processing things pretty well at this point. And I'm not going to bore you with more commentary on this. We'll just wait for some sort of finished outcome so that I can go back and review it and kind of play it through for you. All right, we're back. Underlord has finished its first pass. Let me just point out before we even get started, San Nicholas, I think it was originally Saint Nicholas in the initial script. And I might have jacked that up in Audiate, not paying close enough attention, just trying to speed through this process. But I'm going to play this for you just to give you a little bit of a taste as to how well it did. Clearly, like I said, the theme pack didn't get applied, which is unfortunate, but hey, it happens sometimes. So here's some audio for you. So there we have it. Getting better. Getting better than two prior passes. I blew away the upload that I did previous to this one because it wasn't going to go anywhere. This one is better overall than the first three. Still not quite the way I want to see. I probably won't fiddle around with this too much. I may just post kind of the original without all of the fun stuff in addition to these clips, because I think they really do have value and they show not only the capability, but the limitations of where tooling is today. And, it's good to know because this is a benchmark in time and things are only going to get better from here.